Night had fallen. A blanket of darkness shrouded the world. The air was thick with the smell of damp earth and distant rain. A lone figure trudged along the deserted road, his footsteps echoing in the silence. The wind howled like a banshee, whipping his threadbare cloak around his legs. He pulled the fabric tighter, seeking a meager shield against the encroaching chill. Each gust seemed to whisper a warning, urging him to seek shelter from the approaching storm. He pressed on, his face etched with weariness. The road stretched before him, a dark ribbon winding its way through the desolate landscape. He had been walking for what felt like an eternity, each step heavy with the weight of his past. His name was Silas, and he was a drifter, a nomad with no roots and no home. He carried with him only the tattered remnants of his past, memories that haunted his waking hours and tormented his dreams. He had once been a man of promise, with a loving family and a bright future. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. A series of misfortunes, each more cruel than the last, had stripped him of everything he held dear. Now he wandered the earth, seeking solace in solitude and hoping to outrun the ghosts of his past. He had long since abandoned hope of finding peace, but he clung to the faintest glimmer of redemption, a chance to atone for his sins. The road ahead seemed endless, a physical manifestation of his tortured soul. Yet he continued to walk, driven by a force he could neither understand nor control. The first drops of rain began to fall, cold and sharp against his skin. Silas quickened his pace, desperate to find shelter before the storm broke in earnest. As he rounded a bend in the road, he noticed a figure standing in the distance. It was a woman, her silhouette barely discernible in the fading light. She wore a long, flowing dress that billowed in the wind, giving her an ethereal, almost ghostly appearance. Hesitantly, Silas approached. He was wary of strangers, especially in such a desolate place, but something about the woman drew him in. Perhaps it was her air of vulnerability, or maybe it was the promise of companionship in a world that had grown cold and unforgiving.
Excuse me, I wonder if you might be able to help me. I'm seeking shelter from the storm.
He couldn't explain it, but there was something about her eyes, something cold and calculating that sent a jolt of unease through him.
The storm is upon us. There is no shelter to be found here. The woman turned slowly, her face veiled in shadow. Silas felt a shiver run down his spine. Come, we must keep moving if we are to survive the night. Silas hesitated, unsure how to respond. He glanced around nervously, as if expecting the very trees to reach out and grab him.
Silas felt a growing sense of dread, a primal instinct screaming at him to turn and run. But something, perhaps a morbid curiosity or a desperate need for human contact, compelled him to stay. He fell into step beside the woman, and together they continued down the lonely road, the storm gathering force around them.